All right, guys, that was a quick break. I know. We're awesome. You don't need to tell me. Welcome to game 2 between Luccini and Midas Club Elite. Luccini takes game 1 in this best of 3. And what do we have here, basically? Oh, we got a techies. We got a techie. Yo.
Spirit Breaker again.
Oh my
Get
God.
banned again.
That's all 4 games. Venomancer is not there, though, so it's not bugged.
There's some Wisp combos, kind of.
Oh, there's Necro. There's a big old fat Necro.
Necro Wisp. This is a pretty solid pool, actually. There's a Nyx Assassin as a very good pause for. Man, I'm gonna let the Spirit Breaker through.
I doubt it.
No way.
No
way. They just don't want to have to be the team to ban it, right? That's the.
Well, my real question is, do these players play techies at all?
I know that one of the players in the previous series did, because that was one of the things that I looked up in my prep. I think Fex or whoever is a techies player. It's actually his most played hero in pubs. But
I think if techies is picked, it would have to be like a last pick, right? You don't pick it early.
Yeah, probably. There's some pretty good, like, there's some reasonable anti-techies heroes in this game. Like Nature's Prophet's not bad. I think ending the game quickly is also a pretty decent counter to techies. So just like some kind of dazzle push strat or something with a bunch of sustain.
Just ban ranged heroes.
Yeah, ban all the ranged heroes and pick techies.
So other than Intel, a lot of the range heroes are pretty low range. Like, I guess Templar Assassin eventually gets up there a bit, but Luna's super low. Weaver's is a good range hero, though, for this kind of thing. The Necro ban, that's not a surprise. So Spirit Breaker is available. Very surprising.
They should just pick Techies, Tree, Caudle.
That sounds like the worst lineup of all time. You know what's a good counter to Spirit Breaker? Is techies. Anytime you charge, you never know if there's going to be a mine. I'm not even kidding. It's actually a thing.
That's true. All right. Well, there's the SB. Luccini probably take. What is the position 4 situation outside of that? I guess it's like Sand King, Tree.
You could technically play Weaver as a 4.
Weaver.
VP style.
Yeah. 5 seconds remaining.
I mean, you can get really crazy and go back to roaming PA, which was a thing for like a week. Although that's garbage, actually, because Stifling Dagger's been nerfed since then.
Yeah, the range is so bad. Well, not it's way worse at level 1.
Yeah.
Can't throw daggers across mid lane. that was quite a patch. I wonder how Midas Club are going to exploit this Spirit Breaker to its fullest, because I feel like the interesting thing about SB is that he's kind of a 4, kind of a 5, right? He plays in the 4 role, but he doesn't mind buying all the wards and being the most sacrificial support. And that's where he's great, when you can pick a ranged support like a Phoenix or even a Warlock or a Visage, where you can give them the opportunity to grab a lot of farm and have a huge impact. But I don't know if there really is a... I guess the Keeper of the Light is the one that maybe stands out for that strat, in terms of have the Spirit Breaker be the hard 5, and then Caudle can just stack and farm and get his scepter up pretty quickly. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
I'd love to see Tiny again. Actually, I would really want to see Axe. We need this hero to be back. Love
Maybe
this
if Dazzle gets picked.
Just as a counter to Gray. That's all he feels like these days.
Dunk the Grave. He feels quite weak in lane, I think is the biggest thing. Just gets bullied out.
He could go, like, if Nature's Prophet's a solo, he could do that. He'd love that.
No, I don't think so. I think he gets beat to death.
He loves it.
To the Nature's Prophet's base damage treants, I think he gets completely zoned out at level 1, falls like a level behind by level 4, let's say, and then I think he's just done. I don't know if he does anything once the Nature's Prophet gets phase boots.
All right, I'm gonna reaffirm my prediction though, Base Kip. It's gonna be a last pick techies for Luccini.
Oh.
I can see it.
Get me out.
This is gonna be a 70-minute game. Hey, the cool thing, we haven't seen pros play the new techies, right? Or have we? I mean, it's been non-CM since he got changed.
Not since they gave him the jump, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, not since they changed Suicide Squad attack.
But I'm sure the players are used to playing against him in pubs.
Maybe. I haven't played against the techies in pubs for months.
Really?
Yeah.
Australian servers sound fucking amazing. Get me on board, bro.
Everyone speaks English.
Is everybody polite? More so than other servers, or about
maybe
the same?
a little bit more than other servers. I haven't played much ranked seriously on other servers. It's never any time at events. They get you there, they work you to the bone, ship you off.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, well, Sanking Witch Doctor again.
All right. For techies to work, Sanking would have to be an off lane. Damn it.
No, techies could just be off lane. It's fine.
Really? Techies off lane as in a pro game? All right. Hey, I'm in for anything, dude. Anything.
Yeah. Yeah. It's captain's draft. Anything could happen. So this the Nature's Prophet could be playing anywhere. Luccini probably have to give us a little bit more of a hint with this next pick. The Sven is a pretty somewhat classic like laning counter against the Nature's Prophet. Does pretty decently in that matchup. The one concern that I have for Midas Club is if they lose their tier 1 towers too quickly, because their strategy revolves very heavily around maintaining control over their jungle, because they need the Coddle and the Sven to both get a lot of farm to have their full impact. And I don't even know what other heroes they have that they can pick that can really like make much happen in the early game and get a lot done. Like I'm not seeing very many heroes that rotate heavily. Maybe the Tiny that you were talking about is actually the way to go. You just pick Tiny and he can run around comboing fools. I mean, Luccini are all squishy. I think they all die to a Avatos combo.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
That could be a decent option.
It's actually hard to visualize when you can't see all the heroes faded out. Like, oh, Sand King would be good here. Oh, wait. They've already picked Sand King.
Yeah, it's tough.
What do they need? So we got Midas Club here.
Yeah.
Spiritbreaker 4, Keeper 5, Sven 1. So they need a mid and an off lane. I don't think Void is very good this game for them at all.
Maybe they just pick Tide. I think
yeah, Tide's pretty generic. You could definitely fill in there.
It's pretty generic, pretty safe.
There's the Void. Okay.
All right.
So much for not working with any of the heroes.
You gotta... Oh, some teams do like Void Sven, but I think you have to have a really good Void player who can consistently land somebody on the edge of the chrono for Sven to kill. This lineup is so greedy. Oh boy. Like...
they have one AoE spell for the chrono, if you don't count Illuminate.
Sure. I mean, OD right-clicks into the chrono just fine. The lockdown's decent. But...
Damn it, Luccini. Damn you.
Thank you.
Damn you. So they go for TA. All right.
Shannon, just crash the game.
God,
we can just remake real fast.
That Sven set is hideous. Good God.
He's a fish man.
What is that?
That's his lore.
Ugh.
He's half fish man.
No, I know, but still.
Ugh.
I don't like it. It hurts my eyes. And then meanwhile, you have the Hawaiian Nature's Prophet.
I don't mind.
Nice and cash.
Yeah, he's chilling.
Oh, hey, it's the Dota Cinema Spirit Breaker set. No, dude, the mushroom cap has been... It's been reaffirmed as 0.5% win rate higher than the rest of the cosmetics.
Have you been looking at the Dota buff?
Yes.
Dota buff win rates.
We've been making fun of it so much, and then who was it from Liquid? Mind Control.
Mind Control.
Owning with it.
What a god.
Yeah, for reals. All right, so game 2 of this best of 3 is now underway between Midas Club Elite and Luccini. Luccini takes game 1 pretty convincingly. What in terms of lineups, I'm guessing that you prefer Luccini's.
Yes.
The ease of execution, right?
Yeah, I think there's ease of execution. There's a I think they have a really clear game plan where they like the Nature's Prophet gets some levels. He TPs to the Weaver or the TA's lane early. They take the tier 1. They put the pressure on the map. They get a Deso up somewhere. They go and take Roshan with the Treant and the Desolator. And I feel like Midas Elite's lineup is just so slow. Like, OD doesn't do anything for 15 plus minutes. Void takes a really long time to come online. It looks like their strat is they're trying to kind of go aggro and make sure that the Void has a decent start, which I don't think is a bad idea.
How many Midases are they buying?
Huh?
How many Midases?
Hopefully 0. Maybe 1 on the
OD definitely gets one, right?
No, recently I've seen it be about 50-50. I think he farms just fine if you buy Force Staff and like Force Staff Blink. I don't think you have to get Midas at all on OD anymore.
Yeah, they're gonna force the time walk here for Void.
So I think Luccini are getting the lanes that they want in this situation. And this is such a good dodge. This is really smart because if you look, Midas Elite have already spent, like they've already kind of locked in to playing on this side of the map because they've set up this ward down here. They've warded the lane and then they've also warded that rune. So I think they're playing in anticipation of there being there being a full tri-lane down here, but that's not even remotely the case.
We got the Astrum Prison onto Madara here in the mid lane, but you're right. So Witch Doctor does TP down to help out the Nature's Prophet, who gets Storm Bolted right away. And
Lucky
that's going to be that.
Got the bounce back to the Sven, saved the Nature's Prophet some damage.
Oh god, how annoying is this hero? Jesus.
Yep, that's Coddle for you.
God. Miserable. Especially as a Nature's Prophet. All your creeps are going to... Actually, they do have magic resist, don't they? Or do they not anymore?
SB did nothing with his first minute, and now he missed the stack. But,
oh, no. In. Alright, the level 1 charge without the Greater Bash. It's not going to do a whole lot, but it could be enough to set up the Stormhammer. There it is. And that should be enough for first blood. Midas Club Elite. Good execution, good layering.
That's good. I don't think they care too much about the Nature's Prophet dying a little bit early on. But Void is also getting some CS up top, so it looks like Tavo not struggling too badly just yet. Tanking, running some side pulls, just going to be grabbing some levels. But maybe a somewhat slow laning stage other than the Spirit Breaker. You could probably just leave your camera on Spirit Breaker and catch every kill in this early game.
There's a lot of harassment damage in the mid lane as well. I think it would take a misplay for somebody to get killed, though, if there's no intervention from another hero's. Bottom lane, we're going to have another charge onto Nature's Prophet. Stormhammer's available, but not going to go for it. It actually does force a TP from Jericho. So we have a cask. It's going to bounce left, right, and center, but still only level 1, so not a whole lot they can do. There is the stun onto the Sven. Nice blocks from the Nature's Prophet. Oh, one more right click might do it. And down goes Sven. Nicely done from Luccini.
Yeah, very timely rotation from tanking. And I wonder if I'm interested to see if Midas Club will... Yeah, okay, they're not going to swap their lanes. They're going to keep coming down to bottom. I think it's the right decision, just given how set up they are on this bottom side of the map.
This Nature's Prophet just charged every other second, it feels like. Well, still an Invis rune applied to the Spirit Breaker here. Masha very, very low in this mid lane. But should probably be okay unless he misplays here. Sideblades could potentially get the kill. He's not careful. And as you can... Oh my god. I have to see this kill, though. Burrow Strike on the bot lane onto the Keeper. King RD attempting to run away, but there's a counter charge onto the Witch Doctor. And wow, there's the Greater Bash, finishing him off in style. King RD will trade his life, so 1 for 1 as the Nature's Prophet does TP in to help them out. As Burrow Strike now into the Spirit Break. It does have a charge if he wants to. He's going to use it on the Nature's Prophet. Stormhammer, 20 mana away, but the Greater Bash again, timely RNG. But unfortunately for them, Nature's Prophet will just run away. HFN.
Witch Doctor's back.
Yeah, he's back with that Maledict. Pretty dirty stuff as the Illuminate is going to finish off the Nature's Prophet. Just kills left, right, center every second.
Why did he come back that way? Why didn't he just... he's on 1 hit. The Spirit Breaker even hit him once as he ran up here. If he just gotten bashed, he was already dead, even without the Illuminate. That was... it was a bit sloppy.
It's fine. Just boost the confidence of the enemy, and then use that to your advantage later on when they throw. That's the ideal scenario.
That's my games.
Level 2, indeed. It actually is a South American thing. Let's be real. They do that all the time. They're pretty tiltable. Is that a word? Tiltable?
Sure.
It should be a word. Let's make it a word today.
I'm not a big Scrabble player.
What the?
Huh?
John in the spot lane, Nature's Prophet. Finally hitting level 4. He's taking a lot of damage this game. Lots of ganks from the Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker has just been eyeing him consistently as we have a pause. The South American pause, sorry.
Yeah. There isn't really that much he can do about mid, and Void is pretty hopeless to gank for early.
Yeah, no doubt.
Unfortunately for the Spirit Breaker, they've only really given him one lane to play on, which makes it really obvious what he's going to do. It makes it really easy for the Luccini supports to just go and... I mean, that's how the Luccini supports have been able to just go and sit bottom without having to do anything else, because they know exactly where the Spirit Breaker is going to be playing. They know that they can... If they just hold up TPs, mid lane is always going to be fine, because there's no way that they kill the TA if she has Refraction up. And that should be very difficult to kill the Weaver as well with the situation that the Void's in. So that just means, okay, where's Spirit Breaker going to be? He can only be bottom, so let's just go play there. Why not?
That's true. I didn't really think about that, but it probably is. Because sometimes when you're doing the old spectating, you never know what it's like to be the actual player, right? Because you don't have the same vision as us. But you're right. By process of elimination alone, it's kind of like, what else is he going to do?
Yeah. I mean, he tried to stack a little bit. They are setting up some big stacks. Here's the scary thing. If Luccini figured this out, they have a Sand King and a TA. And they can just come and obliterate these stacks in no time flat. Are they stacking the Ancients for the Sven? No, not yet. They're just stacking the regular neutrals. I'm actually interested to see if the Sven takes this or if the Keeper of the Light will. Maybe they'll both farm it up. Sven's not doing that well in terms of CS. That's only 14. But I don't think it matters so much. So long as they keep control of their side of the map, he'll always be able to farm his way back in. I think he's actually the least important hero for them to prioritize. Oh, a little bit of action
so
on mid.
Early to be taking these stacks too. Yeah, mid lane. We have some TP support from the Nature's Prophet. Does have a Sprout available. He's going to block him off. Nicely done. His OD. Burrow struck up, and down he goes. Nice counter initiation there from Luccini.
Well, they tried for the mid gank, but... Like I was saying,
and like you said, the Sven is finishing off these stacks. Can't remember the last time I've seen stacks of this magnitude this early in the game. It's pretty impressive, actually.
Well, it's the fact that their supports have nothing else to do. I think that's the that's the kicker. Like, stacking is kind of to me the weakest of all the support plays, at least for now.
Oh, the charge onto the Sand King. There's a Storm Hammer on top of it. The Burrow Strike is there, but a couple more right clicks should suffice in the kill. Oh, okay. Thought the neutrals actually were going to take him out, but the Thunder High doesn't hit too hard, unfortunately for him.
No.
The least strong Ancient of them all, I think.
What's the number1 strongest Ancient? I got this arbitrary list.
I just made that up. Yeah, I know. This is a real arbitrary list. There's no logic backed into it whatsoever. We have another charge. Guess who it's on? Well, he ends up canceling it here.
Yep. And guess who runs all the way back to the tower, and this is okay.
Hey, level 3 Spirit Breaker. Gotcha.
What skill builds is gone? 2 points charge. Pretty standard. You do see actually a little bit of variation in Spirit Breaker builds.
Wow,
some people get 2 points bash.
They know Stormhammer's down, so there comes the cask into a Maledict. Here comes a counter charge, though, nicely done on 2 heroes. Illuminate on top of it. Sven is in a lot of trouble. That Maledict should tick him down, and indeed it does. Very questionable use of the Stormhammer on creeps. But that was the opening that Luccini got, and they took advantage of it.
Ooh, almost got that Sprout on the SB, but not gonna go for it. Couldn't really catch up and finish the kill. Void still finding decent farm. Does definitely need to make some kind of use of this Chronosphere. His team is like giving him the, they've given him the easiest lane. They've made sure that he's gonna have a. They're gonna chrono here. I think it's the right decision, but
maybe
they need to get a kill. I think it would be easy if Sven had 6, but he doesn't have it yet. So
that's true. Just taking out another stack, no problem. And in terms of the mid CS, the OD is getting kind of dumpstered right now. But a 20 CS lead for the TA. Doing very well.
Yeah. This is a... I think this is a decent OD game later on. But for now, not necessarily that easy. Things are at least going well in the fact that they haven't lost to Tier 1 yet. They've actually managed to keep this Nature's Prophet at bay.
Well, he's been charged 8 times
solidly.
this game, so that might be...
That's true.
Hard to with the Illuminate here. Oh, Jericho's going to miss the Burrow Strike, unfortunately.
Just a little short. Just a little bit.
Yeah, the
Prophet's
joys
going
of...
for a Midas.
Oh. All right, we have a Midas on the opposite team.
Yeah. OD's also got a Midas. So he's queuing one up.
Is there any way that Void goes Midas this game? Too greedy? I mean, their lineup is already greedy to begin with.
Yeah, I think it's too greedy. Also, I think this game he doesn't have to really do any damage. He's got Sven and OD for that. If he just has like a Vlad and a Blink, I think he's set. Or even like a Vlad and a Shadow Blade, maybe, depending on how he wants to play it.
Yeah, the more initiation route for the Faceless Void then.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even though he's playing in the safe lane, he's the offlane player, and I think it is mostly an offlane Void. Luccini smoke, heading down bot.
King RD, hugging the tower for now. Sven, he's lived in the jungle, has a Mask of Madness for him right now. So, we have the first Chronosphere of the game into an Illuminate. That's going to be an easy kill onto the Nature's Prophet, but Luccini, they had something to say about it, but they have regretted opening their mouth. As the Witch Doctor TP's away, Jericho getting charged up, no mana to speak of on this Sand King. 10 more mana, he will have Burrow Strike, but I think he'll be dead before that point. So nice double kill from Midas Club Elite.
Very good rotation. Unfortunately, looks like it might cost them their top tier 1, but I think still pretty worth.
Yeah, mid lane we have a Sanity's Eclipse. It's not enough to take out Madara. Sprout is there for Mashi. He actually cancels the TP, just wants to right click to his heart's content, but he's going to die as a result, so a little bit of a mistake there. A little bit too cocky for that OD. And then we have now a counter charge here onto the Witch Doctor, but no follow-up to speak of. But you're right, that tier 1 tower did end up falling.
Sven on 30 health. TPing
Jungle 30 health? Is that what you're talking about? What's he doing? He's going to shrine up?
He was farming the Ancients and just dropped low.
Okay. This is literal jungle Sven, I feel like.
Yep, pretty much.
Started off in the jungle way earlier than I'm used to.
This is where he lives.
Don't try this at home.
He's doing okay. I would like to see him go top, but or at least somebody go top and take that farm.
No, let Weaver go. It's fine.
It's fine. He just took the tower. No big deal.
Oh, Tavo. Oh, Cask was almost there. Would have been perhaps enough actually to get the kill with the Maledict Epicenter Burrow. But alas, it was not to be. Who took the tome? I wish you could look at the history of the tome. That would be interesting. It definitely was not Spirit Breaker for Midas Club.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably the keeper then. He's level 7 for God's sake.
Yeah, he's almost level 8.
Good lord.
Just past 7. He's going for a 4-staff this game. Pretty good 4-staff game. Not quite as good as the previous game, but need a 4-staff to get your Sven out of sprouts. Save people after they get burst struck. Is 4-staff OP? Maybe. Oh, they want this Void. Do they have the burst?
Oh, he takes the Maledict, but heals up a lot thanks to that Time Walk. Here comes the counter initiation from the Spirit Breaker. Void trying to do some damage. Looks like they're going to get the stun on the Nature's Prophet. That's the first to fall. Witch Doctor next on the list. Greater Bash connects. Again, the RNG is out of control here from Midas Club. Double Bash Brothers and the Spirit Breaker Void. And they're both going to get away safely, surprisingly enough. Oh, Chimera. Jaimari. I'll pronounce his name differently every time. I'm pretty positive about that.
Jamiroquai?
We didn't really talk about the... Oh, as Madara has the death, so he's going to be soloing Roche. No big deal. The time dilation versus Weaver, if you can get it off, pretty
Very
disgusting.
Annoying. Very, very annoying. Weaver just going to be going for the Diffusal Blade. One of the few... I mean, I think part of why we've seen Weaver be popular recently is that he can buy Diffusal Blade first item, and there's a lot of heroes that super value against, like the Necrophos especially comes to mind. Also quite good against the Sven this game.
Pretty sure that item's getting nerfed, by the way.
What? Diffusal Blade?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. It is...
Maybe nothing major, but...
The tricky thing at the moment is that like the only carries that are viable are ones that kind of can buy Diffusal, I feel.
Yeah, that could be. That's true.
It's so important. It's kind of... I guess it's warping the meta a little bit in some senses.
Yeah, we have a charge here. Is Spirit Breaker level 6 yet? Indeed he is. Still will be a pretty tough kill without a Chronosphere up in 40 seconds. Sven is out of the jungle. Hey, he's made it to the river, ladies and gentlemen, to take a rune and go back into the jungle. He's done it. It's like a cat leaving the house for the first time.
Like, oh, it's cold out here.
We'll try again next time. Next daytime.
Oh.
Oh, we got the charge onto the Witch Doctor, and yeah, God's Strength is already activated. Haste was, I guess, Haste is off now, but Mask of Madness is there as well.
This pace of game is looking good for Midas, though.
Yeah, I would
They've only
agree.
lost one tower, so they still have very good control over the spaces of the map that they want to be farming. Their late game is very strong, I think even better than Luccini's, just since Luccini's team fight doesn't have a whole lot of structure. I feel like if any of their heroes get jumped, then they just die, right? Like, they have a little bit of counter initiation from the Burrow Strike, but I think for Midas Elite, it's way easier. You know, OD's eventually going to pick up a Blink. He can blink in an Astral to save somebody. They've got the Void to potentially drop a Chrono. They got a Blinding Light. They've got Spirit Breaker to charge through. It's actually very easy for them to counter initiate. So I feel like this Luccini not quite on the pace that they're hoping for, but they've also got a very strong TA that we haven't really seen contribute just yet. So that's probably where this game will start swinging.
We're gonna have a charge bot lane onto the Weaver. There's the time dilation. 10 seconds on Shikuchi. You have to think this is a kill. But the counter initiation from the Sand King is there. Epicenter Burrow Strike combination. Faceless 4 in a lot of trouble. It's gonna be 2 kills, in fact. And somehow
that Wrath of Nature.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage. That was like the last ticks, I believe.
It popped him. That was like the last 350 damage. I thought he was gonna get the time walk off and it would be a very different fight, but all right. Luccini, right as I was being a little bit doom and gloom, they get 2 big kills.
You were talking about how Midas Club Elite can go later, in theory.
Yep.
As we might see some action here in the mid lane. OD completely surrounded, can't get out of the trees, has to Astral himself. HFN in the meantime gets Burrow Struck along with the Diffusal Blade. Masha gets taken out by Madara, and looks like HFN and company will feed their lives away. Nature's Prophet barely lives. So Luccini taking a couple more kills for themselves. But
oh, that's a disaster.
How dependent are they on Chronosphere, do you think? As we're going to see it used right here into an Illuminate. That should be enough damage to take out Weaver. Indeed it is. Madara looks to be next on the list. Aegis is still intact, though. Keep that in mind. Time dilation into a Blinding Light Madara. That's, like I said, the Aegis. He does have Blink available. Gonna double click very, very... Okay. He's going to find a couple heroes on the backside, but the charge is up. He's in a lot of trouble here. See if any reinforcements are on the way. Nature's Prophet is here with a Sprout. There it goes. There's a nice double Burrow Strike into the Sandstorm. Madara in a lot of trouble. The bouncing cask left, right, and center. They can't get rid of it. Madara's going to finish off at second kill. He's going to blink to safety. He's going to go for more. He's going to go for farm, apparently. King RD should be okay as the Burrow Strike is going to be applied to the OD. And somehow, some way, Madara lives through this. And he's pretty cocky. He's going in for more. Meld on top of OD. Wait, is he dead? Oh my god, it ran out.
I'm pretty sure you can mash it.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I haven't had too much experience in that, I have to say.
I think you can. No, I don't know. Maybe there's some ordering.
Oh, we got a charge, but with the shrine, that'll back that horse up. And that was an amazing fight for Luccini, and then Madara kind of, for no reason, fell away.
Not again. Not again. Mid-tier one's not worth it.
He's fine. What are you talking about, bro? He's fine. We have a charge, though.
The turnaround.
Onto the Witch Doctor. Stormbolt on top. And here's Nature's Prophet, though. He's going to stick Sven inside. Void comes in, attempting to right-click, as HFN will, in all likelihood, die in this fight. Has the Mask of Madness, though, so potentially not. We'll keep an eye on his health total right now, as we have another death this time. Oh, I hear Stormbolt. Stormhammer, I don't know why I keep calling it that.
On the back lines.
He TP's out to safety. Jaimari is going to drain all his mana. Chronosphere not up for another 10 seconds. So Sven somehow lives. I think the Mask of Mana saved his life for sure.
Man, they're only playing against 3 Invis heroes. Can they please buy some detection?
Please.
I guess they do have a little bit. They have a sentry on the Spirit Breaker, and they had an on cooldown dust on the Keeper of the Light. But there was no way that TA should have survived in this fight here, or at least that part of the fight. We've had a lot of action in the last few minutes. Everybody's just kind of running at everybody.
All right, so back to my question from 5 minutes ago. Now that there's a little blip in the action. Chronosphere, how dependent are Midas Club on that?
I think pretty much 100% to win a fight. They have to have Chrono at the moment.
So in that case, you feel like he's actually going a little bit more right-click. He's going to go for the Manta, and then I would assume Diffusal after that. Do you think an Aghanims would be the right choice?
Maybe a bit later. I still want to see an initiation item.
Like a Blink or Shadow Blade into... Yeah, okay.
I don't mind the Manta this game because... the biggest thing I see for the Manta is that having more damage instances means that you get through the refraction really quickly. And they don't actually have really good ways to get through refraction, even in Chrono. So I think the Manta is quite good for that. But I still don't think he really needs to be doing that much right-clicking for his team. So I'm really hoping that he gets this Manta and then gets the initiation item shortly after. Do have a... Oh, well, he's also seen that the Orchid is being built on the Nature's Prophet, and it's now completed. So that's why he wants the Manta as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Makes a lot more sense then. So getting Manta doesn't necessarily mean he goes... we're going to see some action here in mid lane. Oh! Sand King jumps right into the Chronosphere. That's not what you want to see. And he will be taken out in the blink of an eye. And we have a first hit bash here from Void. Second bash. And Witch Doctor's just dead. The Urn Charge should be enough. In fact, the right click will suffice. So 4 dead. We see the Nature's Prophet get killed in the backside. Gracious me. What happened?
They just got caught. And that was kind of the end of it. We'll see if it swings. I don't think it should swing back the other way because I don't think Midas Elite really need to... Like, I don't even know if they need to take this tier 2. I think they can just back off right now. There's a ton of the map to farm. No reason to give them a bunch of turnaround kills when your Chrono's on cooldown. You may as well just go shove all the lanes and continue farming because I think they should feel very confident in the fact that their late game is much better than Luccini. Luccini have to, like, they've all respawned right now. They kind of just have to go. They do have good split push, but they've got quite a bit of catch on Midas Elite, especially with the Spirit Breaker.
Now we have the Burrow Strike onto the Void. He's going to time walk out into the Orchid, but I think he'll be fine. It's actually pretty funny. You get hit by Shikuchi, you instantly hit W for time dilation. It's pretty nice.
And then Weaver cries himself to sleep.
Yeah, I mean he should cry himself to sleep. We'll be going for a Lincoln Sphere, by the way, on the Weaver after the Diffusal is already picked up.
Important this game. Can't get Blink insta Sven stunned, can't get charged. Well, you can still kind of get charged, but it's a bit weird. Like, you have to be farming a camp, and then the Spirit Breaker charges the creep camp, and then you finish killing the camp, and it redirects onto you, so it sneaks under your Lincolns. But
am I missing something?
Pretty niche.
HFN, I'm assuming he's going BKB. Okay. He just doesn't have it actually queued up. It was just strange. Once he gets his BKB, he has pretty much all the items he needs to be super powerful, and then he can scale into some more right-click, perhaps, after that, but very tough to kill.
Yeah, that is the one thing about Midas Elite's lineup, well, that you would normally say, is that Sven is a hero that does kind of fall off a little bit once you get into the later stages of the game, especially once his BKB starts to run down. You know, he has this really strong window right around getting kind of BKB Daedalus. I think that's his strongest timing, and then after that's kind of whatever. But they've got the OD to do all the really heavy lifting for the late game. So I think overall their late game is still much better.
Now Midas Club's going to amalgamate their forces in this bot lane and attempt to push down this tier 1 tower. This pesky tier 1 still stands. Zanking, though, does have his initiation available to him, but I think with Nature's Prophet TPing, might be a little bit too late to hold this.
Yeah, he's having TP scroll. Doesn't look like he's interested in. He TP'd like 1,200 units to go and farm a camp, so he's definitely not interested in in defending that.
Just wait till he gets 25, then it's going to be real lazy. Wheelchair gaming for Nature's Prophet. Yeah, the Walmart shopper, if you will. That's what he becomes. That should be a cosmetic for Nature's Prophet. Walmart Nature's Prophet. Once you hit 25, you turn into
scooter Nature's Prophet.
Meanwhile, TA. Oh, the smoke's gonna pop. They know he's here. Oh, he gets bashed.
Oh, the bash
by Roche. That might have saved Madara's life.
The hidden sixth member, Team Luccini.
That's unfortunate.
Shows his face.
But nothing really is lost. What do we have here for item progression? Anything crazy? So interested to see that Keeper's not really rushing like an Ags. Going for like more utility, but not too worried about getting the heal in the daytime.
They don't really have a 5-man death ball lineup, so smoke Prophet. I think
Prophet is being charged and he is being killed. Goodbye. No point in layering, just kill him. That's fine. Down he goes. Now the question is, does this open them up for Roche? They think that is definitely the case.
Yeah, I would agree.
Strength popped. Of course, this is being seen. That trap was in the pit. Don't know if they want to do anything about this. Sand King, again, could initiate. Weaver's going to use his swarm. And we're going to see if this actually comes to fruition. Who jumps in?
Pick it up.
Dyer picks it up. Looks like the Sven ends up getting the Aegis. And that Chronosphere is pretty freaking good. The OD is right-clicking hardcore. 3 dead in an instant as Midas Club. Looking real good right now.
They
have a charge.
Real over.
Witch Doctor gets the cask off, but a little bit too late. And with that Atos, that should be the death of the Witch Doctor. Into the tier 2. Aegis still intact. In theory, you probably don't want the Aegis on Sven anyway, but not a big deal.
Maybe Midas Club actually got the lanes that they wanted. This came up bad. Yeah.
Oh, Nature's Prophet. Haven't you learned your lesson? They will always get the bashes when they need it. Sanity's Eclipse ends up helping them take out the entirety of the team as good game well played is called.
Is done.
Yes. So game 2 goes the way of Midas Club Elite. Which means this will be going to a game 3, ladies and gentlemen, of Captain's Draft 4.0. Base Kip. What did you think of that game?
Should have banned the Spirit Breaker.
He's been banned every other game.
I think if not for the Spirit Breaker, they would have actually been able to split push a little bit harder. I don't think they would have won the game